The 2022 finals marked a pivotal moment for the NBA. The league had seen a recent surge of rising stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown take over, and they felt like their time was now. The Boston Celtics finally broke through to the NBA Finals, and they were poised to grab the torch from the past generation, but their opponent didn't share that sentiment. Against all odds, the Golden State Warriors were back in the NBA Finals, a feat that seemed impossible just 3 years ago. The 2019 Finals had seemingly killed the Dynasty. Kevin Durant left in free agency, Klay Thompson was sidelined for an entire season, and Golden State found themselves at the bottom of the NBA standings. The fact that they're here is a miracle, and they return with one goal in mind: win ring number 4. The 2022 NBA Finals was a battle between the past and the future. Either way, history was going to be made. After their loss in the 2019 Finals, Golden State's reign over the NBA looked like it was over. Kevin Durant tore his Achilles in Game 5 of the series and subsequently went to Brooklyn in free agency, and Klay Thompson tore his ACL in Game 6 and was ruled out for the entire 2020 season. It wasn't crazy to think that the dynasty was over, but Curry and Draymond were still healthy, so there was some hope that they could pull something off. And then Steph broke his hand 4 games into the season, and it was wraps. A 6th consecutive finals appearance was out of the picture. In fact, it was completely out of frame. Golden State finished dead last in the NBA with a 15-50 record. But with the Splash Bros coming back healthy for the 2021 season, a redemption tour was on the horizon. At least it was, until the unthinkable happened. Just a couple weeks out from training camp, Klay Thompson ruptured his right Achilles in a pickup game, and he'd have to miss a 2nd consecutive season to recover. Golden State's redemption tour would have to wait another year, but Steph Curry was on his own comeback tour. He lit up the league as a one-man army during the 2021 season, carrying the Warriors to the play-in game where they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies. And in his post-game presser, he dropped one of the hardest lines you'll ever hear.
You don't want to see us next year.
The man wasn't playing. Golden State began the 2022 season on fire with an 18-2 record, and this was without Klay. Thompson made his return in January of 2022, and with the rise of another certified sniper, the Warriors were primed for another run. As the 3rd seed in the West, they faced Denver in the MVP in round 1, and they won the series in 5. In round 2, they'd get their rematch from a season ago, and this time, the Warriors bounced the Grizzlies in a thriller of a series. And in the Western Conference Finals, they'd annihilate a Luka-led Dallas squad in 5 to make their return to the NBA Finals. A redemption arc that seemed far-fetched just a few years ago. Golden State is making their 6th Finals appearance in 8 years. Do they have one last chapter to their story, or is it time for the next generation to take over? After half a decade of disappointments, the Boston Celtics finally broke through to the NBA Finals, and it was a wild ride to get here. Wind the clock back 5 years, and the Celtics found themselves in the Eastern Conference Finals against the defending NBA champs, and they got dummied in 5. During the offseason, they made massive moves, trading for Kyrie Irving and drafting a dynamic scoring wing out of Duke, whose name was Jason Tatum, and he began paying dividends right away. With an injury to Kyrie, Tatum led Boston to the Eastern Conference Finals for a rematch against Cleveland. They push it to a Game 7, but lose a heartbreaker. In 2019, the Celtics had high hopes, and they fell flat on their face. They lost to the Bucks in round 2 of the playoffs without reaching much of their potential. 3 months later, Kyrie was gone, the young guns were given the keys, and they thrived. In 2020, Boston makes another Eastern Conference Finals appearance, but they lose in 6 games to the Miami Heat. And in 2021, they got nailed by injuries, getting gentlemen swept in the first round by the Brooklyn Nets. Other than this outlier season, the Celtics always found themselves in contention for a spot in the NBA Finals, and they were well overdue. Can 2022 be the year? Well, through the first 4 months of the season, the answer would be a resounding no. By the end of January, Boston had an underwhelming 26-25 record and were 9th in the East. But then one tweet sparked a fire. On January 31st, Jaylen Brown tweeted that the energy was about to shift, and whatever magic this dude was using worked. From that point on, the Celtics went 24-6, finishing as the second seed in the East, and they were on fire headed into the playoffs. They got revenge on the Kyrie and KD Nets, sweeping them in the first round. Then in round 2, they went to war against the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks, and as they found themselves on the brink of elimination in a Game 6 on the road, Jason Tatum went into God mode. The dude erupted for 46 points, including 16 of them in the fourth quarter to force a Game 7, where they blew out the Bucks at home to clinch another appearance in the Eastern Conference Finals, where they got rewarded with the first seed Miami Heat. The series was a 7-game bloodbath that saw the Celtics pull out a Game 7 win to clinch a spot in the NBA Finals. Boston finally broke through, just to face a dynasty that is more motivated than ever to prove everybody wrong. How hard can it be? Entering Game 1 of an NBA Finals, it's usually a slow feel-out process for both teams to get to know each other, unless your name is Wardell Stephen Curry II.
Curry missing his first three, reloads. They leave Curry all alone, and that's lethal. Behind the screen, a bunch of shooters and scorers. Williams looks at that three, and he laces it. Curry behind the screen, oh, they lost him again. He makes the pay. He's hotter than fish. Around the Porter screen. Somebody throwing water on Steph Curry.
Steph went absolutely ballistic in the first quarter, scoring 21 points and knocking down 6 threes, the most in any finals quarter ever. The Warriors carried the momentum from Curry's explosion into the second half, as they found themselves up 15 late in the third quarter. But Boston wasn't going to go down so easily. They pulled themselves out of the hole and got within 4 with 6 minutes to go, and then they turned on the burners. The Celtics went on a blistering 20-2 run, splashing home shot after shot after shot, and in the blink of an eye, the game was over. Boston shocks the Warriors and steal Game 1. In Game 2, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum came out on fire, looking to take a commanding 2-0 series lead. JT cooked up 21 in the first half, and JB tagged on 15. But come the second half, Steph put an end to that. He scored 13 in the third quarter, including a highlight reel 3 that made Al Horford play Twister on the court, following it up with a deep 3, and then he tagged in the splash homie. Jordan Poole knocks down a long-range triple, and then he does this.
Poole with the ball. Launches.
He drills a half-court buzzer beater to give the Warriors a 23-point lead. Golden State blows out the C's by 19, and they're right back in the series. In Game 3, the Celtics were back on their home court, and Jaylen Brown was on demon time.
Green all over, Brown drives inside. Forward Curry. Oh, beautiful back cut. 6 on the 24, Brown. Long three-pointer. That's good. Jaylen Brown is third.
A 17-point masterclass by Brown gave Boston all the energy they needed, carrying them to a 12-point lead headed into halftime. But in the third quarter, Curry was starting to reel them back in. He knocks down back-to-back triples to get the Warriors within 9. And then, the impossible happens. Steph sprints down and pulls up for a deep 3, plus the foul. Upon review, Al Horford is given a flagrant foul for stepping under Curry's foot, which gets him the free throw and gives the Warriors possession. One in which Otto Porter Jr. launches a moonshot that splashes home to get the Warriors within 2. One single possession, 7 points for Golden State. It was insane, but Boston wasn't fazed. They kept the lead throughout the second half and walked away with the win. The Celtics' trio showed out, combining for 77 points in a crucial Game 3 win to take control of the series and go up 2-1. Game 4 was no question the most pivotal game of the series. The Celtics are at home with a golden opportunity to go up 3-1. The Warriors are obviously trying to avoid that. But in reality, so much more was at stake. This was Steph Curry's chance to solidify himself among the all-time greats. With his back against the wall and what is likely his last opportunity at a championship, he can change the momentum of this series, prove to any doubter that he can carry a team to success, and seize the moment that can define his entire career. And simply stating that he delivered would be an understatement.
Curry, another long distance shot. It's good. Steph Curry closes out. Curry drives. High off the glass. Curry gets free. Gets some contact. Layup. Got it. And one. Steph Curry posts up Tatum. Curry launches a three. It's good. Steph Curry with his. Curry. It's good. Steph Curry from downtown. Maybe some second shots. Curry again. Oh, Steph Curry from way downtown. Curry now has Williams on him. Looking to unload it. Flips it up. Shot is good. Back to Curry. Step back. Three-pointer. Bang! Steph Curry drills the three. That's a 6-point Warriors lead. Timeout Boston.
It was a legacy-defining performance. Simple as that. 43, 10, and 4 with 7 3-pointers. The dude put up one of the greatest finals performances in league history with everything on the line. In a nail-biter of a game, he was making tough shot after tough shot after tough shot, capped off with a dagger in Derek White's face to seal the game and tie the series at 2. It goes without saying that there was a lot at stake in Game 5, especially when you take into account that the winner of a Game 5 when the series is tied at 2 in the NBA Finals goes on to win the title 73% of the time. This game was huge, and the supporting cast showed up for Golden State. Andrew Wiggins went crazy for 26, 13, and 2, and Klay added 21 points in a game that was exactly 3 years to the day after he tore his ACL. Despite these performances, the game stayed tight thanks to Jason Tatum's 27-point double-double in what is his most impactful game of the series. But late in the third quarter, the splash homie made the biggest impact of that game.
Off the mark, rebound Wiggins. He's got 3 seconds to get a shot off. Wiggins to Poole. Poole gets it off in time.
His second long-range buzzer beater of the series put the Warriors up 1 headed into the fourth quarter, and they took all that momentum to the finish line. Wiggins throws down a massive hammer dunk to seal the game, Golden State wins by 10, and they're just 1 win away from redemption. Game 6 was do or die for the Celtics, but for the Warriors, this was their chance to cement their dynasty as one of the greatest ever with their 4th championship in 8 years. But they might have to put it on hold because the Young Guns came out with a purpose. Just 3 minutes in, the Celtics went up 12-2 and they seemed poised to run away with the game. However, Golden State was on the verge of an explosion. From the 2:30 mark of the first quarter to the 10:13 mark of the second, the Warriors went on a 21-0 run. From Draymond hitting threes to lockdown defense to transition offense, Golden State was cooking in every facet of the game, taking a 15-point lead into halftime. In the third quarter, Boston did everything to try to get themselves back in the game. More specifically, Al Horford did, scoring 12 points, 3 threes, and snagging down 6 rebounds. He was doing it all to keep his team alive. But Steph wasn't going to let that happen.
So far, Curry sidestep, wide open 3, got it. Curry sidestep, 3-pointer, it's good. Draymond Green pushing, 6 assists for Green. Curry along.
This man had the audacity to pull up from 28 feet, drain the 3, and then point at his finger, telling the crowd to ring him with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's completely outrageous. That shot put the Warriors up 22, but Boston was still chasing. Jaylen Brown scored 10 points in the third to get the Celtics within 10 headed into the fourth quarter. But once again, Steph answered. He kept firing with a 13-point fourth quarter that ripped the heart out of the Celtics. And with just a few minutes to go and the championship within reach, Curry launched one more three to silence anyone who ever doubted him.
Curry gets it, fakes, fires, three-pointer. Thompson running the floor, and a foul. And Thompson grabs his left knee, now writhing in pain. Steph Curry slamming the ball on the court, so upset. There's a new NBA champion, and it's a team from Toronto, Canada.
Is Golden State's dynasty done?
Yes, it is. It's over for them now. We will never see Steph in another NBA Finals, ever.
I don't see the Golden State Warriors bringing home another championship.
Steph Curry from downtown. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world. The fourth title in 8 years. The Dubs dynasty is still very much alive.
You don't want to see us next year.